Welcome back to What Arty Noobs for General Disturbance. This is the M44, the Tier 6 American SPG. This one's located on the south spawn of Minsk, and it's under the command of Oveone of the FAART clan. Now, this is a replay from 2018, yes, a long time ago. Game on! Well, back then, this was the full cream M44. Not the nerfed one, not the one you're used to today. This one is capable of doing 550 alpha, 39mm pen, 6.7 to 10.4 seconds on the stun duration. Okay, he's going over to the west side of Minsk, a map that's been out of circulation for over 2 years now because of the conflict in another part of Europe. I won't actually say anything more than that at the moment, because some people say, oh, it's a bit boring constantly mentioning it, but I think we all know where we're talking about. Okay, he's parked himself up, he's ready to go. Well, he's found a target straight away, and it's the Type 64, but remember, this is the full cream version of the M44, so it's capable of doing quite a lot of damage, but it's also got some differences. The tracer's slightly less. There you go. And that was a nice little splash on the Type. And another target turned up directly behind him and got wiped out. That was the Shure M42. A Hellcat got him. Our MT25 is trying to tempt that Type through the passage. We just had a brief glimpse of a T-3485 just by the steps. There are differences in the maps and also in the figures, the stats. Another splash. This time for 154. And the Type just took a big hit from somebody. Now, can we get the kill shot? He might still be there. Rounds out. Yep, he got him this time. Yep, he trusted his views. He knew where it was last seen. And he fired the round in, kept watching the spot to make sure that he had the right information. And he killed the Type. So now he's trying to get the T-3485. Well, he got him stunned. It was a bit of a pity, actually, they took the Minsk map out of the game. This was actually the first version of the Minsk map, because there was another one where they were doing all sorts of road construction around the map. But this is the original one they put into the game, first of all. And it didn't have that passage around the back on the east side of the map. And you lost some passageways on the west side as well. Okay. A lot of action going on the west side at the moment. 40 TP pulling back. He goes. Okay, we're watching what's going on the east side. And that's a nice hit on the M445. Don't think these guys are being watched that much by our team. And therefore, they're making quite big inroads. Okay, we've loaded, but no sight of the enemy. Oh, there's a VK. Okay, dialing in. He fires a bit prematurely, but he actually does get a big hit for 79 hit points, 2 critical hits. And you saw that guy lost a lot of hit points very suddenly. He's not reloaded yet. Now, the standard reload for this Arty would be, according to the book, 19.08 seconds. They've changed that a bit since, obviously, by the nerf. And now it's something like 21, 22 seconds, I think, how much they've nerfed it. But back then, you could get the reload time down to about 16 seconds. Oh, he's just killed a GW Panther who was in the trees. A blind hit. Now, you see, there was no information came up to say that he'd hit and killed the GW. If he hadn't been watching the target, he wouldn't have known that he just got a kill. But we can see the wreck there. Okay. We think there's another Arty in that corner, a griller, but he's not going to have another go. At the moment, he's focusing on this T-3485 and the AMX M445. We're fairly close to our cap area, and there's nobody really defending the cap as such, except for attack destroyers through a mill. Now, I don't think he'll last very long, but this M445 might go with the very next shot. Just waiting for the final moments of reload. Okay, rounds out. And he does get him. So that's 3 kills now for Oveone. Now, if I recall, this replay is from October of 2018, so that's why it's so long ago. We do apologize to the player, Oveone. Apparently, he sent it in, but it got caught up and delayed because there was a client change. And normally when that happens, then it gets put in the back burner. Now, we think somebody's in that corner. And the reason we think that is there was a little bit of destruction just behind that those concrete blocks. So it looks like somebody was sitting there behind that, capping in that safe area. Trying to get the VK. We've got a splash, 83 hit points, but it takes him down to 51. And there's the kill shot. And he's taken out by our gorilla. So we think somebody's sitting behind that concrete area. Trying to splash them. Rounds out. He gets the shell precisely in there. And he got 73 capture points reduced, which means somebody was there. And he's just picked up a defender medal by hitting them. There's 4 left on either team. It's the T-34 2G FT. We've got a shot. Rounds out. And he wipes him out for 16 capture points. I think that guarantees he's got a medal now. Over on the other side of the battlefield, there's P-43 sitting behind the swimming pool, trying to save his life from a Type T-34. Or is he trying to kill the Type? Well, we got the round out, but unfortunately the guy moved away. We only got some stun. And there's a Nashorn there as well. So it's now 3 versus 3. We've got 2 Artys on our team. Our sole tank destroyer is the Sture Mill. But what I can say is that the gorilla, one of the enemy Arty, was seen fairly nearby. So we're moving over to support the Sture Mill. Top speed of this little Arty is 56.3 according to the stats then. Yes, I kept a copy of all the stats going back to them when it was full cream. This Arty used to have a maximum range of 16,000 yards, 15,000 meters, and was used by Germany, Greece, Belgium, Japan, Italy, and also Turkey. And in fact, Turkey still has them. And a few were actually used by the British as well. Okay, there's the gorilla. Now we're dialing in, each of us. Our shot fails. We keep moving. That gorilla tries his shot, fails. So now we can auto-load, just auto-aim on. We've done that. And he goes down anyway. In fact, it's the Sture Mill who takes out the gorilla. So we miss out on getting a counter battery fire medal. I'm sure the gorilla, that the Sture Mill didn't realise that we had him. We were going to take him out with the very next shot. I guess the circumstances are you should drive towards the enemy. Once you know they've got a long reload, just drive straight towards them and shotgun them at close range where they can't do anything about it. They're not going to reload in time. Plus, of course, it gives your intentions to other teammates who then realise that you're going to do the kill, not them. This is another of the Artys where the crew, the driver, would actually be up in the next to the gun, next to the howitzer. And of course the howitzer was mounted on a swivel mount, which meant that it could actually turn 45 degrees either side of the centre line, so it had a very wide arc indeed. Now somebody else is saying stay together. Actually, I'm not sure that's necessary on this account, but it's only the Nashorn that's left. They got the other one, which is the T-34. Okay. So we're looking for a Nashorn. If he goes behind the bushes, I should think he's already got 6 cents, but what he's going to do, he's just going to sit here and start the cap running. If the Nashorn does turn up, he's going to have to try and get sight of the M44. Now, he does have the camouflage net, so he can put that up, and he has. and all he's got to do is wait for the enemy to appear, and as soon as he gets close, auto aim on and just blast the guy. The Nashorn does have very thin armor. It is basically just a Panzer IV, or a Hummel really for that matter, Panzer IV hull, but it's a Hummel with an 88mm gun instead of the 15cm howitzer. Oh, now that's interesting. The Nashorn just killed the Gorilla on our team, and that kind of indicates to me that he might be to our left. He might actually be out in the field across the river, but he can't see us at the moment. Very unusual that the Nashorn was able to spot him. If he was behind the bushes directly ahead of us, then that might have camouflaged his shot. But we're about to cap out. No, there he is. Okay, so we can aim at him. He just can't see us. And the Nashorn gets wiped out, or the Sture Mill wipes him out. And that is the end of the game. So it's a victory. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was the second-class tanker for Oveone in the M44. He got a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits in this game. He got 16. He got a fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. He did get 4 exactly. And he got a defender because he reset the clock on the T-34-2G FT, who was just about to cap out. Cap out as he was close. But he managed to get enough to get at least 70 defense points in the process, and therefore he earns a defender medal. Let's have a look at the team score. Well, we can see here he didn't get the highest damage in the game. That went to the Nashorn on the enemy team. He got 2,321 hit points out of that game. Second highest went to the Sture Mill, who actually killed the Nashorn. He got 2,090. And the third highest damage, well, that went to Oveone, so he did get something. Third place, 1,552. When it came to kills, though, he definitely got that one. In fact, he shared it with the Nashorn because they both got 4 kills apiece. 3 kills went to the Sture Mill and 2 kills went to the Gorilla on his team and the Panzerkampfwagen 4 Aufrüstung H. And on the enemy team, their T-34-2G FT and the VK-3001H. When it came to base XP, he's got that one too. So he's got the top on the kills and also base XP. 963 went to Oveone, 863 went to the Sture Mill, 747 went to the Hellcat. And the next highest after that was the Nashorn. Yes, he did rather well. He managed to get 19 shots out during the game, 6 direct hits, 6 penetrations. Look at that. That's amazing. 9 splash, damage of 1,552 hit points, all of it at more than 300 meters. So it was actually easier to get penetrating shots back then, which meant, of course, that you managed to score better damage, but simply because the penetrating shot had the tendency to roll on the high side, or at least roll on the high side of the alpha, which is 550. So you could end up getting a lot of damage very quickly. 7 enemy vehicles were damaged, 4 were killed, 565 hit points of stun assist off 11 stuns, and he managed to get 88 capture points and 89 defense points. So he wasn't far off capping out, and if he had, he would have got the Invader medal as well. In fact, I don't think he would have got the Invader Raider, but I don't think he was actually spotted during the entire game. So it's a possibility he might have got it. On premium account, he actually earned 31,040 credits from that game, and he also took away 3,049 experience points as well. Back when the M44 was the top of the tree in terms of tier 6 Artys, it really was very, very capable indeed, and it was a lot of fun to play. Massive fun. You take it out for a spin, and you just blast away at the enemy. And now, unfortunately, the only Arty that you can do that in is the SU8. It does have a similar reload time. But this is not the only replay we actually found for Oveone. We did find another one. So let's have a look at that one and see how it gets on in that. And that's also from 2018. The second replay is on the Glacier map, and we're on the northeast spawn. Game on! Well, you can see we're sporting the Arty Noobs colours on the M44, 1 star on the barrel. So he's already got his first mark of excellence. Now, this was a skin that was actually created by Sir Rusty, and he created a huge number for what Arty Noobs. We're very grateful to him for doing that. Okay, he's decided to stick behind the trees and cover the angles. Okay. Now, enemy tanks have been spotted in the distance. Got a Tiger 1. He's making his way across the field towards the center line. Oh, lovely first shot. 186 off that one. Looks like he's going to try and work the gully that runs between the sides. Nobody on the enemy team seems to want to go towards the carrier. But we do have a Cromwell suddenly turned up. Rounds out. Lands short. The Cromwell hesitated for just a moment, and that was enough to throw the shells off. So what more can I tell you about the M44 that I didn't mention in the previous video? Well, apparently the British actually bought 58 of them. 52 of them were sent to the British Army on the Rhine, and the other 6 were kept in the UK for training. Oh, now that was interesting. 2 enemy tanks went down, the Cromwell and the VK3001D. So 2 kills. We're in a tier 8 game with tier 6 tanks, so we're bottom tier in this one. Okay, there's an AMX 12 ton. Very light tank, which doesn't have much armor, because of course that's why it's lightweight. Rounds out, he's trying for a splash. And he gets it, 150. Yes, not only did the British have them and use them, but apparently Belgium have still got 25 in stock, according to the figures. And also the Turkish ones, because the Turks bought 228 of them in total. They had them refitted with a German gun, the Rheinmetall version of the 155mm howitzer, and extended the range from 15,000 meters to 24.7 kilometers. So get the unit right. Yes, so they actually massively extended the range, almost doubled the range. Well, not quite, but close. And I think that was down because the new design of howitzer was able to take the higher pressures, which would enable them to fire shells with greater charges in. AMX AC-46 tank destroyer rounds out and lands short, but we do get stun, and he picked up the stun assist. Now, apparently, only 250 M44s are ever built. So Turkey must have been going around buying up the M44s that are available from other nations. In fact, we've long said to Wargaming that they ought to use the M52 in the game, because if the M52 went into the game, which is basically an M44 with a 105mm main gun instead on a turret, and they could use the M52 as the premium at tier 6. It's still got the same performance as the PP, but the difference is it's just basically an M44 with a different turret on top. Rounds out, misses that one. Now, for a long time, this Arty was the favourite, as I said. Most people love the M44 simply for the fact that it had such a huge amount of damage that you could do in a very short period of time. That wide arc as well makes it very easy to switch from target to target without having to move the vehicle at all. All you had to do was set up your center line on a particular angle, and then you could do things like that. Another good shot on the Nashorn for 190. Oh, and he knocked the tree down. He must be a lumberjack, and he's okay. Okay, rounds out in the Nashorn again. No, nothing from that one. We're 2 up on the enemy, so we're doing well. Okay, loaded again. He's firing snap. That wasn't fully dialed in, but he's trying to get the Tiger at the other end of the gully. Okay, there is a Hellcat in sight now, but he's focusing on where the ISU-152 was last seen. The Hellcat's gone unspotted again. He just missed out. I think that might be important because the Leo and the E25 are fairly close. There's the Tiger. He was a little closer in than the spot he aimed at. Rounds out. This should splash. In fact, he got a direct hit. I think the shell veered to the left as it was flying and, yes, went straight onto the target. Rounds out again. Nope, nothing from that one. Now, the enemy's managed to recover, but we're now 2 up on the enemy. It's gone 6-4. The Tiger will go out the next round if he splashes this one. And he gets the direct. So he's got a kill. It's a bit difficult to get a shot on the guys on the northwest corner of the map. But there is a Bat Chat 12 ton there who's just got to kill our Oni and also an Oho. Now that might be an important angle. The difficulty is that he can't really easily fire over the mountain. He's still trying to check for those enemies down here. In fact, it's being pinged to look at grid square G3 because that's where the ISU 152 was. He's actually moved now. We're losing tanks in the northwest corner. You might notice as well, the shells make a slightly different sound as they're traveling through the air. This was 2018 after all. They did have different sounds back then. And here comes that ISU 152 on the enemy team. We're going to have to move forward if we want to get shots on them. But no, he's decided he wants to go defensive and he's going to go back into the trees. Okay, the S51, seeing as he's fairly slow, he really ought to move and go south towards grid square E0 and hide there. We've got the speed to get away if the enemy comes in our direction. We've got a 53 TP who's on the lookout. I don't think the enemy's going to barge in straight away. There's the Oho. He's being very cautious. And in fact, he should be because he's just got wiped out by the IS. And the enemy tanks down in the other corner have been spotted. He's going for the Nashorn first. The Hellcat has got greater hit points. And unfortunately, he just killed our T-52. But look at that shot! 149, he wipes out the Nashorn completely. And now he's selecting... Well, he was selecting the Hellcat, but now more enemy tanks have turned up, including a Bat Chat 12 ton. That's the tier 8. Crusader SP, rounds out. He gets him too. 3 kills now. There's the Hellcat. He just killed our Leo. There's that Bat Chat 12 ton. Now we've lost all the tanks that went down to that corner of the map. We've got no eyes out there to actually spot for us, except for the Poodle. And he's still stuck in the little ice village on the southeast corner of the map. Now we're only 1 up on the enemy, but there's only 4 enemy left. They don't have an Arty. They've just got 2 tank destroyers, 2 light tanks. There's the T-52. I think we might be able to get a shot on him if he moves forward. That one went very long. I thought he was actually aiming in the wrong spot because he was actually aiming too close. But the shell went very, very long, went right to the edge of the reticule and actually did hit the T-52. Well, got close to it. Bat Chat goes down. That's a good kill. That's the 53 TP doing that one from up on high. The IS was coming up behind him. Now we need to get rid of the T-52. Say the IS could do that. Although I must admit we don't know how many hit points the IS does have. You actually have to see it in order to check it. The E25 on our team, who's already dead, saying, Cap, don't think you can do that if you don't know where the Hellcat is, because he might snipe at you and take you out. That's how we lost the Leo and the enemy 25 for that matter. Poodle is being very, very cautious. Sitting on the perimeter road. The IS is now moving the other end of the gully. So he might get sight of the enemy. Oveone's concentrating on that T52, and I think he's right, actually. And at last, the 53 TP is going in to do a quick check on where that T52's gone. And he's not there because he's down in the south, right next door to the Poodle. Okay, we're looking in that direction. T52 running fast, but we can see now that he doesn't have a lot of hit points. We try a quick snap, but it's a long range, and the shell doesn't go near him. You either have to dial in or you have to anticipate and give a long lead on the enemy. The good news is now we know that T52 is down in that little area, the southwest corner of the map. And it's very likely the Hellcat is there as well. IS is closing in on the cat. 53 TP needs to get down there quick as well. And there's the Hellcat. He is close. Rounds out. Bit late. Well, we lost the Poodle. I think the IS is now waiting for the 53 TP to catch up with him. Go in together. Meanwhile, Oveone's firing suppressing rounds in to try and catch them if they happen to be looking over or around the bunker to try and get shots. We've actually platooned with the S51. He's also got 3 kills, so there's potential brothers in arms on the cards here. I think it's very likely the S51 will survive, so will Oveone, so long as the heavies don't get wiped out. If they do get wiped out, then we're going to have problems. But we're getting very close to the end of the game anyway. We're running out of time. There's the 2-minute warning. Well, we can still cap out if both were to get into the cap and fight off the Hellcat and the T52 as they appear. But look at the health on that 53 TP. It's going to take the Hellcat and the T52 a lot of shots to take him down. And that gives him plenty of chances as well. Let's just hope that the Hellcat and the T52 haven't decided to come over our side of the map to cap on our end. No, there's the Hellcat. He's been spotted. Long flight time for the shell. Oh, but he did get a piece of him. 81 hit points. And there's the kill shot from the S51. That means there's only one left. It's the T52. And we're now into the last minute. And here comes the T52. He did come up this end and he's trying to kill the S51 right now. We really do need to get a shotgun. He's auto-aimed on. And he gets him! He wipes him out! And that wins the game. Great game there by Oveone right at the end. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was the first-class tanker for Oveone of FAART in the M44. He managed to get a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 17. He got a fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. Yes, he did get 4, and the last one in the game as well, which meant that, of course, that he saved his teammate, and that got him a brothers in arms by saving the S51 from being wiped out. And I did fear that somebody would try to return to the cap, or to our cap, and try and get a quick Parascucci's medal, but naughty little T52 got a shotgun. He didn't see the Arty coming, and it was too late for him. So let's have a look at team score. Well, funnily enough, he did actually get a very high score, not the top. The highest damage actually went to that batch at 12 ton, who got 2,050 hit points. But only a short distance behind him was Oveone with 1,953. So you can see how well he was actually doing in the game. The third highest damage was the M18 Hellcat. That was the guy who actually stayed at his own cap area to try and defend it from the enemy tanks or the two heavies that were coming in. He got 1,798 hit points of damage. The T-52, well, he left the scene and he should have protected his teammates and tried to be a nuisance to those heavies, but instead he decided to come our way and he paid for it. When it came to kills, we can see the highest number actually went to that batch at 12 ton. I thought he was a bit of a nuisance. Tier 8 light tank. 6 kills to him. 4 kills went to the S51 and also to Oveone. And 3 kills went to the M18 Hellcat on the enemy team. And when it came to base XP, it was Oveone who got the most. Yes, 1,059. He was the only player to get over 1,000 base. Next highest was the Oni with 902. And the third highest was the IS, who managed 880. He fired 26 rounds in that game. That's a lot of rounds because he was blasting the shells out as quickly as he could to get the maximized damage. He didn't get a Confederate though, and you'll see why in a sec. He got 6 direct hits and 6 penetrations, 16 splash, damage of 1,953, of which 1,810 were at more than 300 meters. The close range shot was on the T-52. He fired at damage 7 of the enemy, killed 4, so there was only a 3 difference there, and that wasn't enough to get a Confederate. He got 456 hit points of stun assist, though, of 17 stuns. On a premium count, he actually earned 32,298 credits profit, and he also made 5,005 experience points as well. But the question is, does Oveone still play his M44? So many people have actually given up on this Arty altogether, which actually makes it now fairly easy if you want to get a third mark on this Arty, because virtually nobody's playing it, so the totals or the marks are very, very low. Which is a shame, really, because it used to be one of the most difficult Arties to mark simply because so many people were playing it. The standards were very, very high indeed. So anyway, there's the M44 from 2018. Yes, this replay, 3rd of December 2018. And the previous replay, that was 21st of October 2018. And that wasn't long after the HD maps came in. I think they actually came in, if I remember correctly, it was either March or May of 2018, and there've been a few client changes in the meanwhile, the program changes. But obviously, we kept all the programs, we kept all the links to the URLs. So I've still got that long list, which probably has something like 4,000 or 5,000 replays on it. I've still got it. I can still do those replays. It's not a problem. It's just getting the time to do them, because we now receive more replays than we can actually physically do. If I actually did have helpers working with me, then maybe it would be quicker. But it's the problem is that in order to do the commentary, I have to watch each replay, and then I have to put them together. I suppose it's if I did get a helper who was actually working with me at my home, then maybe I could actually then put them together a bit faster. Also, I probably need a lot more computers than I'm currently using and have them all on a network, so I could just complete them one after the other. In fact, that's how I actually get so many replays on the general channel, our sister channel, which has nothing but pools medal wins. Admittedly, that channel doesn't have any commentary because it's just the replays as they are. But the thing is that it's very quick to actually upload a lot of replays. And so, yes, you get more in a batch each time. So apologies to Oveone again for being so late with this replay. It really is terrible that he's been waiting 6 years for these replays to appear. Apparently he does have another replay that is worthy of watching, and he asked me which is the right URL, or which is the correct place to actually send it in so that I can then get that one done. And I'll look forward to seeing it when he actually does send it in. But apologies to him in the meanwhile for being so late with these ones. If you enjoyed these replays, please give this video a like, do subscribe to our channel, leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. and thank you for watching.